Hi everyone, how's it going there? I'm Big Lee. Today I'm gonna show you how we implemented our system for the project 2. Let me firstly introduce our contribution to the work. I'm taking charge of the architecture and deployment stuff, and Bing Xie, he works for our harvester. Yeah, that's the way we get data from the Twitter. And Dou Xiaoye and Meng Qi made a great contribution to develop our sentiment analysis system, and to some part they also contributed to the visualization work. And finally, thanks to Jungwen, he produces our whole front end. First, let's talk about our architecture. You can see from the bottom to the top, on the very lower layer is the cloud infrastructure. That's the Nectar Cloud. We launched our virtual machine to deploy the whole thing onto it. Then is our data gathering layer, which is responsible to retrieving data from the Twitter API. And then with the help of the sentiment analysis, we can label the people's opinion toward the different topic. And then with the help of the sentiment analysis, we can measure people's opinion in the tweet, and then we tag the positive or negative. Then we store the data into our CoachDB based data storage layer. And then we use Elasticsearch to retrieve data and make it available for the data visualization. And then our web can use it to present you the very specific front end. Along with the functional components, we also use Boto or Ansible to orchestrate our instance and deploy the applications in different periods. Let's move on to our hardware structure. We use 3 virtual machines as our backend, on which we gather data, process it with sentiment analysis, and then store it into our CoachDB cluster. And then we have another virtual machine to continuously replicate data from the CoachDB cluster. This data we are using that to do the data visualization things. Let's have a detailed look into our database design. We have 3 CoachDB to working as a cluster. It's pretty awesome. If you store a document into one of 3 of these nodes, the other 2 will eventually consistent to it. By this way, we let every harvester just to send information to their local CoachDB. Thanks to this mechanism, we can let our harvester to send information into their local CoachDB, and finally we can, however, have a database for all the information. To make the back-end data isolated from the front end, we have another CoachDB locally existed on the front-end server, which is continuously replicated from the CoachDB cluster. In this way, we can have our data safe. Let's have a look about the tweets we gathered. We have 400,000 data from Melbourne and about 600,000 data from Sydney. In total, we have 1 million documents stored in our database. Then, using the MapReduce query, we can see our sentiment analysis separated our data into 2 groups. One is for negative, one is for positive. Roughly, that's all about how our backend works. And next, we will shift to the front end, and Jungwen will introduce you how we implement these scenarios.
Hello, I'm Jungwen, and this is our group to choose totally 5 scenarios. Our first topic is to analyze the satisfactions from the public of the Tony Albert. Basically on the feedback, I set up the colors based on the different scores and the different education levels and put into the suburb. As a result, it can easily to see that most of the regions give the negative feedback for the Tony Harbor. Our group decided to use a simple algorithm to figure out different education level from different suburb, which is based on the data from the Orin. It is easy to show that the most of the people from the from both higher education level and the lower education level, they are all not satisfied with the performance with Tony Albert. Our next topic is about analyze the public support for the refugees. With no surprise, we can see from the map view, most of the suburb, the colors are filled in greens, which means most of the people are going to or would like to help the refugees. We also put this data to compare with different education levels. According to the relation chart, we can easily to find whatever the education level is, most of the regions are all support the refugees. Our third topic is to analyze the phenomena about the racial discriminations in Melbourne cities. As a result, we can easily find most of the regions are green. Only a little regions was near to the yellow, but the total marks are low, which means there is a low racial discrimination happening in Melbourne City. For the last two topics, we investigate the correlation between the scheduled sport match and the frequency of match-related tweets during the match period. The sports are very interesting and hot topic from the social medias. By comparing with these two topics together, the result shows the scenario of the Sydney FC and the Australia Open. We can conclude that the people tend to care much about the final result of the game rather than paying attention to the whole course of the sporting event. We can see from the bar chart, the most frequency topic happening is all about the final match date. This is all of the introduction of our final project. Thanks for watching these videos. Cheers!